Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Star Tarot by Kathy McLeland. There's Kathy's website. Hopefully I can angle it so it doesn't shimmer too much. So if you want to go and check Kathy's stuff out, you can easily do that. Supportive Oracle cards. Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen Raish Baskin. Websites for them, torihartman.com, watkinspublishing.co.uk, or .com. There's .com down here somewhere. So depending where you are, you want to freeze frame there and use that information as you need to. I think the first part's the same. It's just the .com or .co.uk. I assume based on where you're located. So, all right. Let's move on from that. What do we have for Cancer? Alright, grief and complacency? Okay. Grief and complacency. Wow, this is starting out great. This is about what works for you. I think you've been putting up with something. I almost feel like once I said that, it immediately came in like, oh, well, that's nothing new. Like, oh, yeah, story of my life, putting up with a lot of crap. I feel like that's where you are. For the people that this is going to hit with the strongest, it's kind of like, oh, oh yeah, there's a lot I put up with, so what exactly are we talking about? Because you've been very strong for a long time, and I feel like you've been putting up with something for so long that you actually have been stabilizing something. And you feel it, and you've been feeling, well, that's the right thing to do. That's why I've been doing it, because that's the best way to handle it. That's why I've been doing it that way. Which makes sense, but I feel like it's come to a point where it's kind of like, I feel like it's going, the situation is not improving, it's going the other way. It's getting worse, and I feel like it's kind of like, all right, wait a minute. For a while, maybe it made sense, but now when things getting worse and you picking up the slack, it's kind of like, I almost feel like I feel like there's an entitled person connected to this, and they're just seeing how far they can go with it. This is too much. This is too much. I do also see balance coming out. And it's kind of like, I feel like you're in control of this. Kind of like, this does have a very strong Libra feel to it, because that's the thing Libras do. Doesn't mean you're dealing with a Libra, but it's kind of like telling me like, it's gone too far. It's gone too far, and now it's time that we have to look at this in a different way. There seems to be a few people connected. I don't think it's just you and one person. It seems like there's a group. And it might be maybe you're calming a situation down, or you're trying to, like, you know, all right, before we lose our heads, let's think about what's going on. Let's think about who's involved. Let's give people a chance. And I feel like this is starting to double back also. If this is connecting, there's also people giving you pushback, like, Cancer, you're giving this person too much leeway, or Cancer, blah, 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 blah. Like, people are not happy. It's starting to get a little bit rough. For a lot of you, I do feel like there's a work connection to this. Because I feel like you're trying to make something work out, and you're trying to do its best, but, like, it's starting to get really out of hand. There's an energy here that I feel like maybe in the beginning it had some challenges, but they weren't as heavy as they are right now. And I feel like it's time for you to stop fixing it or stop picking up the mess. There's something you're doing that's helping, and it's kind of like, I feel like it's like a screeching halt. It's like a hard stop, like, boom, we're done. Like, I'm just not doing it anymore. I'm just not going to do it anymore. Ten of Swords with the isolation. If this is hitting, you know if you stop participating in the situation, the truth will come out quite quickly about what's really going on here. Not that people don't know the truth, but it's like whatever you've been holding back, you're not holding back anymore. It's kind of like I've been holding the fence, keeping the goats from running out of the the pendant area. But I'm like, all right, I'm not going to do this anymore. I've been waiting for somebody to fix the lock. Nobody's fixing the lock. I got to go. I'm leaving. And all the goats get out. And they just go where they're going to go. It's kind of like, oh, wow. Now not only do they have to regain... Somebody else has to gather these goats, put them back, and fix that lock themselves. You're just like, listen, I tried to help you. I waited way too long. You just didn't take it seriously. Like, you had to help. You had to do anything for me, so I just stepped away. Good luck. Fix it yourself. Whatever your problem is with it is your problem. Which seems very harsh, but I'm getting the Ten of Swords kind of like, this is like, that's going to be a lot. Like, because some of those goats might wander away far enough that they're just never seen again. And you're like, well, I tried. I waited, and it's just like people took it for granted. Like I was the actual lock to the gate. I was not the lock to the gate. I was just trying to keep it closed, doing my best to keep an eye on it. But nobody wanted to help. Nobody actually fixed it, so I have to just go. There's a big social connection with this. It makes things go crazy. You don't like the way this is playing out. But when I keep looking at this, if you step away, if you're able to do that, like it's elective, obviously if this is hitting with you and you decide to do that, it does seem to bother you a lot. I think mostly if this is really hitting, kind of like all the time I wasted trying to fix this, trying to help, and it feels like I feel like I wasted my time. I feel like when I get the Fool card, it's right here. When I get the Fool card for this, I feel like I was the fool. Like I tried to help these people. I did my best for them, and they just didn't care. They just kind of used me and abused me, and then when I walked away, they're blaming me. And I feel like the fool for even helping, if this is hitting. Take it with a grain of salt. And you did do a lot of good in this situation, but I feel like as I walk away, I feel just very unappreciated. For all the help I put in, for everything I did for this situation, I feel very unappreciated. Wow, this is just sunshine roses, isn't it? I feel like they're saying, I don't know, for those of you this is going to hit with, you already know what it is. I'm not telling you really anything new at this point. But they're saying it's time. The way to solve this situation is to stop. Like the X is like a block. Like stop. Just boom. Stop. Isolation. Ten of Swords. Let somebody else pick up the mess. If they don't want to help you, then stop helping. Let them deal with it on their own. Some people need that rock bottom. They need the school of hard knocks. They don't want to work with you and you're willing to help them. Maybe you just need to step away and let them deal with it on their own. Then they have to. Then it's on them. If it didn't matter that much to begin with, I guess that's on them too. If they're just going to let it fail, then they're going to let it fail. You got forgiveness with wisdom. The wisdom is saying, this isn't going to correct the way it's going. The only way you can help, the only thing you can do to help now is just to walk away. And then forgive the situation. Like, it's very annoying. I feel like it's very annoying to walk away and feel like all the effort and care you put into something is just being ignored. Because that's what it feels like. So it's kind of like realizing this isn't working. When you walk away, it does clear out a lot of negative energy for you. Because you got the King of Swords coming in and the Empress. I almost feel like there's people supporting you saying, yeah. I don't know. There's other people here. I don't know. There's something. When this shuts down and goes away, something better comes in. I also feel like you have to vent about this a little bit. I don't think it's bad, but kind of like, your energy is kind of like, I am here to help, but not waste my time. I'm here to help people who want to be helped, people who are going to make good on that help. Like, I don't know, for some of you, I'm wondering if you're in some type of healthcare thing, because it's kind of like, I'm willing to help people, but I'm not willing to pity them. Like, if they need help and want to get better, and I can help them get better, great. If they just want somebody to hold their hand and cry with them because they want to feel bad, I'm not the one for that. I'm here to improve and help improve. Sometimes people need that moment, and I feel like cancer is very honest about that. Sometimes you need that moment to wallow, but you can't spend your whole life there. It should be maybe a week, 2 tops, and then it's like, okay, we have to start looking at fixing this. And starting to, like, even if it's a slow step forward, maybe it starts with baby steps, but it needs to start, at least, within 1 to 2 weeks. People that you walk away from, it's going to be too late, because once you step away, they're going to be really upset that they didn't pay attention to you. I also feel like once you walk away, I do feel like you're truly done. Kind of like, I'm not going to go back to do the same thing, especially because I feel like they were rude to you when you first walked away, and I feel like that stung a bit. You're like, I'm not going to go back there and do that again for you. Not after you treated me like you did after I walked away. Then now you're going to try to sweet talk me and get me to come back and do it again? No, I'm good. I think that's the gift of feeling unwanted and unappreciated, or like you very unappreciated. That's kind of the gift of that. Kind of like, because it burns you. You're like, oh, that's not right. I was helping you a lot, and you throw it in my face. But then afterwards, they realize how much you were helping, and now they want you back. But you're like, oh, no, you threw it in my face. I'm good. I'm not coming back. That's kind of the gift of that, because I feel like you're going to be annoyed. That's really coming in. Take that as the gift that it is. I know it's not going to feel nice when people are around, like, because I see you walking away. You don't appreciate what I'm doing, so I'm just going to stop. And then when you do that, I feel like they're really nasty to you. The devil card comes in with the bittersweet. Remember that. Not in a negative way, but just remember that. If you're not going to be appreciated, don't go back there. Kind of like, oh, okay, you don't appreciate that? Okay, well, I'm really done. I'm permanently done now. Because they'll come back around and they're going to try to sweet talk you, and then they're going to be sad because you're not going to be here for it. You're like, oh, no, you were nasty to me. You were really nasty to me when I stopped doing that. You said you didn't mean me, that I was worthless to begin with. Okay, well, why would you want somebody worthless back? I guess you were lying, weren't you? Well, go ahead and lie yourself into somebody else, because I'm not here for this. Their situation is their problem. I do feel like, I know that sounds weird, but it's the gift that they were nasty to you. Because I feel like that's really going to stick at you. It's going to stick in you, and you're going to be like, not going back. And after that, nope. That's where judgment actually does finally go in your favor. Let something better come in. Because I feel like you're going to be more on guard. It's kind of like, I think a lot of us do this. It's more common than not to experience bad situations and look back and go, oh, that was a red flag. I didn't see it that way at the time, but oh, that was a red flag too. I didn't see it that way at that time. But then when a new situation comes in, you're like, oh, wait, I think that's a red flag. I might have accepted that when I was younger, even if it was 2 years ago. But now that I've gone through that, I've lived through that, I've seen how these things, and maybe it's not exactly the same as it played out before, but it's very similar. It feels uncomfortably common, uncomfortably relatable. I feel like I've gone through something similar to this before. I see this red flag coming. I don't want anything to do with it. And I feel like you're going into this next rotation, and you're like, I'm not putting up with red flags. If I think it's a red flag, I'm going to research that a little bit deeper this time. I'm going to take these things a bit more seriously. I'm not going to just let them float past me. Before, I didn't realize what a red flag that really was. Now I know better, and I'm not going to repeat this again. I feel like the majority of us in life, I think that's how we learn. We go through life and we're like, oh, that's not really that bad. Then later we're like, oh no, that was quite the red flag. That was quite the red flag. Seemed very minimal at the time, but it was quite the big opportunity to go, not for me. Allow this to leave and let something better come in. Because you're in a stronger place now and you deserve better. Allow yourself to have better. Are we good? I think we're good. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below with the same email. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.